Well, welcome to another episode of Port Charles Chat for the week of October 21st through the 25th. I'm Mom.
And I'm Brandon.
Thank you so much for joining us again today. And we'll get right into it and talk a little bit first about the storylines of the week. All right. So, first of all, my top 10 way of doing it. First of all, Laura finds out from Terry that Lulu has an additional health issue that might complicate the surgery, and they have to find out how they're going to deal with this particular health issue. Sam informs Drew and Jason that she will be Lulu's donor, and she asks for them to care for the kids while she is in the hospital. She does also say that the kids will stay at the Quartermains. Sasha tells Maxie that she thinks that Holly is lying about Robert being her father. So, first of all, let me back up just a little bit. As we kind of talked about at the end of last week, Sasha found out that, Sasha knew that Holly was her mother, but Holly let her know that Robert Scorpio is her father. And so this week she believes that Holly is lying about who her true father is. And so she tells this to Maxie. Um, Violet actually ends up leaving town. She spends some time at the Quartermain mansion before she leaves, but Violet leaves town to go to be with her father. Um, Holly decides to confide in Anna to let her know that Robert does have another child, and she is the mother of this child, and it's a girl. And she does tell her that it is Sasha. Sam prepares for surgery. She sees almost all of her family, with the exception of Christina and Molly, on the day of the surgery. They are all with her when she is wheeled into surgery. Um, in the Savoy, we have a going away party goes on for Marshall. I thought Marshall was already gone, but Marshall's still there, and there is a going away party for him. Rick finds out that Heather could be released from prison as early as really the next day that he finds out. He does go and warn Portia and to warn Curtis about this. Um, and then we find out the next day Heather is released from prison. And so to greet her from prison, her son does do so along with Liz. Um, but before she's released from prison, we do find out that Curtis decides to meet with Stephen Weber. Stephen is Heather's son, and he meets with her. He meets with him in order to let him know that she's willing to make a deal with him if he will take Heather with him to wherever he's going. And in this case, it ends up being Arizona, to complete his life. We do, during this time period in which they meet, Stephen does give a little backstory. He does say that he's no longer a doctor, and he can't, at this point, I guess, can't practice, but he does have a job in Arizona at this point. Um, we know, as I mentioned before, Liz and Stephen actually go and they meet Heather at the prison where she is released. We do find out from Sasha later on in the week that Robert is her father. And of course, that kind of devastates her in the sense of the fact that she is dating Cody, her cousin. Anyway, so that's how that kind of goes there. And then on another front, this is just a week of all sorts of things going on. But Holly meets with Sunny in regards to the diamonds that she has taken from Sidwell, and she's trying to find someone who will take these diamonds and help her sell them. And then she also meets with Cody later on that week in regards to the diamond that he has also, well, the diamond she has that she lets Cody know about, because they at one time both had access to this particular diamond, and she tries to make a deal with him. And then Anna decides that, Laura wants Anna to help her to find Valentine and Charlotte. More particular, Laura's interested in finding Charlotte. Anna, on the other hand, kind of wants to find Valentine. So she's kind of mixing the two so she can try to find both of them. And the last thing is in regards to Sam's surgery. Because Lucas is her brother, he would not be able to perform the surgery on Sam, but Sam insists that he does so. And so they were working on paperwork in order for Lucas to perform the surgery. There was a lot to do. I went over my 10. This is actually 15 different marks. Brandon, did I leave anything out?
There's so much that was happening on this week, but I think that was a pretty decent summary as to the main points.
All righty. So let's get to the fun stuff. All right, storylines of the week. For me, there were three main storylines of the week. The first one, of course, involves Sam, and Sam just saying goodbye and putting closure to everyone. To me, the only people who are left, although she did try to put closure to Christina and Molly, those are the two who, when they left her, they were fine with her having the surgery. That was not an issue. They just are still mad with each other. So they were the only two who kind of upset Sam. Um, and then we have Heather being released from prison. And then the other storyline involves Sasha and her mother and Holly the mother and Robert the father. All right, Brandon, did I leave out any other of the main storylines for this week or the highlights for storylines?
Yeah, I think those were the overall main storylines. Yeah, for this week. At least most of the other ones I feel like stem from those main ones.
All right. And so for performer of the week, once more, I'm going back to Sasha because I have been impressed because, like I said, she's normally my fast forward person. And you guys are shocked, but Sasha is one of my performers of the week. Um, other than that, Sam, of course, is right up there for me. I do feel bad for her. I know she's acting, but at the same time, they look like real tears. Um, and so I'm sorry to see her go later. But Sam, to me, is one of the performers of the week, along with Heather. I was kind of amused by Heather, so Heather was a performer for me. Brandon, did you have any performers of the week?
Well, to add to what you were saying, I think each of those are well deserving. Like I said, performers of the week, especially for Sam. But to give everyone due diligence, I'd also say I'd like to add Violet to that list as well, who we saw leave earlier in the week.
All right. And then for heartwarming chats this week, there were two heartwarming chats that kind of stood out. First of all, Sasha had a nice talk with Nina, and I did like the talk that they had together. In regards to Sasha kind of came clean and said who her parents were or who she thought her father was. And I thought they had a nice chat. The other heartwarming chat for me was Tracy and Violet. Because like you mentioned, Violet did leave and Tracy kind of has a soft spot for Violet. And so I like both of their conversations. Our Brand, how about you for heartwarming chats?
Yeah, so to add to those, I really liked the conversation with Sam, Drew, and Jason. I mean, I really liked that one because they don't always, the three of them separately or together, don't really usually see eye to eye, but they are all here for Sam and want to do whatever they can do to support. And so I certainly love that. And I like the attempt that Robert Scorpio had to connect with Sasha.
Hmm. And I kind of want to add to the heartwarming chats also. Everyone who visited Sam that day of the surgery, I thought they did a really nice job of bringing them all together. So they all kind of had a heartwarming chat with Sam. All right. And then for amusing storylines, two of them stood out. First of all, one that you kind of talked about was Sasha and Scorpio. I liked their. I was kind of amused by that. So I liked their banter back and forth. And so for me, that was one of my amusing storylines. And then also Alexis and Diane during the surgery itself, Alexis and Diane had a long conversation in regards to, and Diane just talking about everything along with Alexis, but I like their banter back and forth. Did you have any amusing storylines?
To add to that, I will also say Diana Robert, because at the very end of Friday's episode, where Robert is saying that he feels like he's just being kicked by a Roo, and Diane, being in her shock, but of course, when finding out that Robert not just has a daughter, but that the daughter is of Holly.
Yeah. Well, the daughter being Sasha. Yes.
Yes,
Uh,
well, I mean Holly's daughter.
yes. All right. And then I didn't have any fast forward moments this week. Did you have a fast forward moment for you, Brandon?
Not at all. I think like this was a very condensed week and full of a lot of emotions.
Yes. And then for welcome back, Stephen Weber. Do you have any welcome backs that I forgot about?
Not to my knowledge, other than that Heather is finally out of confinement.
Yeah, so welcome back to the real world, world, Heather. All right, and then goodbye. We say goodbye to Marshall this week, and we say goodbye to Violet. So goodbye to both of them. Any goodbyes that I missed?
Let's see. Well, this might be the goodbye or start to goodbye for both Sam and for Heifer Weber as well.
Yeah, I figured they might be. They're going to be on next week to bring some closure. I think so. We'll see. And then, what do I want to see next week? I do hope that they will. The storyline with Sam. I hope they do not drag it out, and that they kind of put some closure to that and to Lulu. And then the other thing is Sasha and Cody. I kind of want to see what happens with them next week. Or Brandon, do you have any things that you're looking forward to seeing, or you want to address next week?
Yeah, so first of all, in terms of Sam, I love the way that that her storyline has been over these last couple of weeks, but especially this week. I mean, I think her character has just really shown this week, and I think her sort of goodbye on Thursday's episode, I think was probably one of my favorite General Hospital moments in a while. We saw everyone together, um, and so I'm not sure if we're going to be seeing her again after this point or not. But if this was the end for her character, I would say that I I like that she was able to leave as a hero.
Yeah, same here. Same here. All right. Any other storylines that you're looking forward to for next week?
I would like to have a prediction for next week and say that I am thinking that Cody might be one of our performers of the week for next week. That's my mental thought.
Yeah, I'm sure Cody's not going to know what to do with himself once he realizes the relationship with Sasha is going to change.
And I feel like that's twofold because not only do I think that their relationship has been transformative in both of their lives, but I also don't think that either of them would currently would be working for the Quartermains if it weren't for the other. And so the fact that now they can't be together, will they continue working at the Quartermains?
Yeah, that's a good question too. We'll have to see how that turns out. All right, we thank everyone for joining us this week, and we look forward to being here next week. If you have any comments about this week's storyline, please write so below. All right, thank you guys, everybody. Have a great day.
And we'll see you next time.
All right, bye bye.